Hola muchachos, ¿qué tal? Buenos días. Aquí tienen el horario para hoy, jueves el 16 de noviembre. Daily objective for today is to identify the difference in use between ser and estar, a concept you guys were introduced to in Spanish 1. Your warm-up questions for today are, ¿Cómo eres? How are you as a person? ¿Cómo estás? How are you doing? ¿De dónde eres? Where are you from? ¿Dónde estás? Where are you now? ¿Cómo eres? Yo soy, and then 3 adjectives to describe your personality. Yo soy inteligente, deportista, y tímida. ¿Cómo estás? How are you? Yo estoy, and then 2 adjectives. Yo estoy feliz y contento. ¿De dónde eres? Where are you from? Yo soy de Brentwood. ¿Dónde estás? Where are you now? Yo estoy en la escuela. Keynotes for today is the T-chart, highlighting the differences in use between ser and estar. Here you have on the left-hand side your conjugations of ser. Here on the right-hand side you have your conjugations of estar. And then the acronym DATE highlights the situations for which we use ser, to indicate the date, to identify one's occupation, to describe someone. Characteristics, that was your first question for your warm-up for today. Yo soy, and then adjectives to describe what you're like. Time, ¿qué hora es? Son las 5 de la tarde. Origin would be talking about where you're from, for example. Yo soy de Pittsburgh. Relation is going to be your relationship, whether that's family relationship or your relationship to an organization, an extracurricular, a team, a community, etc. Estar, your acronym is place, standing for position, location, action, condition, or emotion. Position, to talk about where something is or is located. To talk about the physical, mental, and emotional state of something, like how you're feeling, ¿cómo estás? And the adjectives to describe your feeling, ¿dónde estás? Describing location. We're going to do one practice activity together, and that is exercise 19 on page 86. Page 86, by the way, has all the notes that are articulated in that T-chart, but as long as you have that T-chart, you have essentially all the highlights of not only the conjugations of ser and estar, but the situations for which we use ser and estar. Exercise 19, you're choosing each of the conjugations according to the context. I'll pause here before I give you the correct answers. For number 1, son talentosos, because talentoso is a characteristic. Number 2, son miembros, because miembros is a relation or an occupation. For number 3, están en casa, because en casa is a location. For number 4, estás nervioso, because nervioso is a condition or emotion. 5 is a little tricky. Va a estar ahí. Ahí means there, referring to somewhere, someplace, and that's why we're using estar. For number 6, está enferma, because enferma is a condition or emotion. For number 7, estoy entusiasmado, because entusiasmado is a condition or emotion. And for number 8, somos los mejores, because mejores is a characteristic, to be the best. We're going to finish off with a in-class assignment, which is the ser or estar worksheet. For this, you're going to fill in the blank with the correct conjugation of ser or estar. So one of these conjugations for each. And then you're also going to reference the T-chart that I shared with you earlier and write one of the situations that that sentence refers to. So if we do the first couple together, el profesor no está en la escuela, because escuela is referring to a location. For number 2, el libro, the book, está encima de la mesa, because being on top of the table is position. Number 3, el señor Gómez es de Bélgica, because being from Belgium is an example of origin. For number 4, Caracas está en Venezuela, because we're talking about the capital of Caracas being in Venezuela. You do not need to do 5, 6, or 11. 5, 6, and 11 are examples of action which you will not be tested on, because that's referring to a grammar concept that we've yet to cover in class together. That is your only assignment, is to work on this worksheet. It's due by the end of today. The only other thing would be your project for Chapter 2A, and that project is right here, forgive me. Don't forget that it's due on December 7th, highlighting your daily routine, in 20 parts to it. You're including the vocabulary from this chapter, Chapter 2A, as well as Chapter 1A and 1B, talking about your class schedule and extracurricular involvement. You have some examples there at the very bottom. This could be a video, it could be a poster, it could be a PowerPoint, it could be a Google presentation. It is up to you for this project.